Hey everybody, welcome to Song of the Week. This week we are going to play A Nightly Tale. I love this song. My students really like this song. It has a Renaissance flair to it. First, I'll perform it. Second, I will break it down and we'll talk about the form of the song. That'll actually make it much easier to see the patterns and be able to learn it more quickly. Also, it'll help you memorize it, which is really nice. Instead of memorizing 500 notes, you'll only have to learn like 5 or 6 patterns. So that's really nice. And last, I want to talk about how to make it magical, how to make it musical with technique. So let's go ahead and start with the performance. All right, I hope you enjoyed that piece. Let's go ahead and take a look at the form. So if you'll come on over here into Piano Marble, you have this little icon here. That's a PDF. If you click on it, it'll open up the page. I want to show it in 2 pages and zoom out so I can just copy this and we can use our snipping tool to just analyze it. So let's just copy this over here. And let's just grab our red pen and we'll go ahead and just outline this. Right here, you have the A section. And you can see this is a 2-page song, but I also want you to see that this right here is identical. So you don't even have to learn that because it's the same thing. We also have the B section. So let me grab a different pen. Let's do the blue one. And we'll just do this blue one right here. This is the B section. And then maybe we can grab the black pen and do the C section over here. All right, so this is C. This one was A, and this is B. Okay, notice we also have this little guy over here, which is the coda. Not sure what color to make it. Let's just make it black. This one we'll just call the coda. And coda. So let's take a look at what we have in the A section, because a lot of these elements are going to be the same thing, like the same chords. So let's take this first chord here and this one here. Notice it has the exact same chord here, and this is really the exact same thing as that, but you add a middle note and then back to that. So you only have 2 chords in this whole thing. Over here, when you come back down here, you're coming to 4 chords. So you just walk down, and then this ends up being the same as this thing here. So that's all repeated. So let's take a look at these 2 chords here and then add these 2 chords. And that's all you have to learn for the A section. Okay, come over to my hands. We have the right hand playing is just a G minor scale. Now you may have done the G minor with the raised 7th. This one is lowered, so it's a natural minor. We'll actually move to the 2nd finger here. So you've got 2 positions. Move to the 2nd position. And you keep in that position for the next part. All right, so that's the right hand, pretty simple. The left hand, you have a G minor chord here, and then it goes down one step. And you put that with the right hand. And then back to the G. And of course, that's a staccato, and then land. The next part's nice because you just move up to the octave and you add the middle note. So that first one, the middle note's black. The second one on the F chord, it's white. When you go to the next line, you start with the same chord, and then you go down one more to an E, except for one thing. The E's flat and the B is flat. So you've got two black notes with the white note in the middle. So you've gone from G to F, and then to E flat, and it goes down one more to D. And I'll play that with the right hand. Step down, and one more. And then we're back to the same thing we've done. Now, if you look at the sheet music, once you learn that, you have half of the song done. That part and that part. If you back up, notice that's half of it. So let's take a look then at the B section and then the C section and see if they're easy. Notice we have this run in the left hand. Well, that is actually just going to be a B minor scale. And then the right hand actually takes the chords. So we've swapped. Let's take a look at what that looks like. So now we have the scale in the left hand. Instead of going up to there, it actually stops and then skips back up. The right hand, you play the G chord, F chord, and back to the G chord. That's a G minor, by the way. Then the F chord, and then two G minors. G minor, F, G. And then the left hand walks down the hill. So that's easy. The right hand follows it. Plays the G chord, goes down to the F chord. You play your F chord. You follow to the E flat, and then the D. So both hands are actually walking down those notes, but the right hand has to add the chord. F, E flat, and D. Really pretty easy. And then back to the exact same thing. I didn't show you over here, but notice right here that this and this are identical. So you actually don't even have to learn that. That's just a repeat of the first line. And that is the B section. So now I'm hoping the C section is not going to be that hard. Let's see. I can make this actually super easy for you. Right here, you have this line, and this line is the same thing. So you don't have to learn this again. It's just one octave lower. And the left hand walks down 4 chords, which is the exact same thing that you did right there. Over here, if you move over, you can see I did the exact same thing in the A section already. So I've already done this. In fact, this part right here is exact duplicate as well. So that means you already know this line. You don't need to learn this. And this one down here is the exact same thing, just 1 octave lower, which means you already know this. This C section is going to be super simple for you. The only thing you really need to know is this right hand pattern right here. And it's got a little syncopation. Let me show you how to do this one. So remember, our left hand's just going to be walking down chords, while the right hand plays that melody. And I really like how those are repeated. That same pattern starts with yada da dum da dum, and then you switch to, and then does that yada da dum da dum, which is the same thing as the first part. And then you do that down here. Now you might be wondering, it would have been so much easier to do the exact same thing with that middle note, but the reason why you don't play that middle note down there is because it just gets really muddy. You hear how dark that is, so that's why we leave off the middle note and it turns into just the open fifth, leaving that out. See how much nicer that sounds? All right, let's go back and see what we've done. We've done the A section here. It's repeated over here. We've done the B section. We've done the C section, which is super simple. And then we just have the coda to learn. And guess what? It does the same thing in the left hand. Those chords, if I can find my mouse, those chords just walk down the hill again. And plays the same thing here. So the left hand is identical to what you've already done here in the C section. So over here on the C section, now my page is getting really messy. That's the exact same thing there. The only thing that's different is the right hand, and it actually steals the melody from a couple of different parts. So you've already done this material, it's just in split up a little. So let me play that part. Really easy. And you're done. Okay, I hope that made it really, really easy for you to learn the song. Let me show you in the software how to approach this. So if you come over here and you see this, you'll go to the practice mode, you'll go to the minced slicing or the chopped. I'll go to the minced. And you'll first start with just that right hand on the A section. We're gonna learn that, and then you'll finish the A section, and then move to the B section, and then you'll move to the C section, and then you'll do the coda, and then you'll do the second page, and then you put all of it together. So systematically, don't skip any of these. These slow tempos are so important to practice everything slow. You may come in here and find that the hardest thing to do is do the slow section, and then the fast section actually comes much easier if you pay the price. Also, follow these fingerings exactly. They will help you learn it so much faster. If you don't know any notes, of course, you can click on it. All right, let's talk about the next step, which is now that you have all the notes down, how do you make it sound good? There are some staccatos that make this song really fun. If you do, notice I have that thing's gonna come back over and over, a pop, bum. And you want to use your pedal. If you look at my pedal, I don't use my pedal for that first staccato, and then I put it down for the second one. All right, come back up to the hands. I pick my pedal up and I do the same thing. Now you want to attack those in and up. And you want to try to get all three of them together. It's a little hard with one note up on the black notes. You may need to practice that, because what happens first, you'll be playing them kind of off, but then you turn your hand to a place where you can get all three at the same time. Attack and then land. Let me do those together. So I pedaled that, change the pedal on the chord, get off, and then staccato. Whoops. I think I forgot where I was. Pedal. Notice my pedaling there. I pedaled right through that, and then I changed pedal on the F chord. But I don't put my pedal down until I get really close to hitting that next note. You can even do a half pedal if you feel like it's getting too muddy. Same thing here. And then a staccato, no pedal. And you can add a pedal there. Now, this is when it gets really hard. So my right hand has to be staccatoed, while my left hand is playing legato. Notice my left hand just walks up legato, but my right hand plays staccato. That part's easy because you don't have to do both hands at the same time. This is what it sounds like when you get it right. I staccatoed that first note. It's not written in the score, but you don't have to do everything the score says. Find a way to make it sound like you want it to. Also, which hand do you actually play louder? Not only do you have to play one hand staccato and the other legato, one hand has to play louder than the other hand. You could use 4 brains, and that would be very helpful, but you only have one. So don't try to get everything at once. You should maybe focus on first getting the notes, and then work on maybe getting the staccato and the legato, and then last of all, try to work on the balance between the hands. So here's the balance on that last part. That left hand is actually going to be the melody here. So you want it louder than the right hand. You don't want it to sound like this. Lighten up the right hand. You might even try being dramatically quiet on the right hand while you're dramatically loud on the left, just to practice the control between the hands. And then slowly start to work it a little softer and a little louder until you find the right balance. So a lot of piano is experimentation, and you're going to use your ear to help train you on what your hands should do. So if you take your hands and you play something, experiment with something. Just try it a little differently and listen and take a vote. And you will win the vote because it's just you. So you vote, did I like the first try? Did I like the second try? Did I like the 59th try? So try a lot of different ways until you find the way that really sounds good. I will say, I never ever play this same song twice the same way. I never play it the same way because I'm always thinking maybe I'm in a different mood, or maybe I want to make something a little louder or a little softer. Give you an example. I have a student, actually my son, he plays this song, nothing at all like I do. he likes it to sound like this. He goes. And I have another son who plays it like this. And my first son will do this. Which way is right? A lot of people say the composer wants it a certain way, so you should play it like the composer wants. As a composer, I think that's not good. Do it the way you want, because you have your own personality. You may like it a different way. The composer, yeah, he wrote down some notes. Big deal. I even take Beethoven things and I will change what in ways that I think I would like to hear it. And a lot of people complain and be like, that's not what Beethoven meant. Doesn't matter what Beethoven meant. We are about creating music and making it touch us. And you can take the same song and turn it into a different mood. As long as it's moving, then it's music. And it becomes an art. That's why music is an art. We're not trying to replicate exactly what other people do. We want to take it and make it sound good. And so all I'm teaching you here is some tips that make it sound differently, like making one hand louder than the left, or the left hand, if it has the melody, louder than the right. How much louder? Well, that really depends on you. And you'll know instantly, I do not like the sound of that. I can't figure out what it is that I don't like about it. That's when you start to experiment. So get in there, use this song for the Song of the Week, and see what you can do to create some music, some magic. And I'd be real interested in just watching just different performances of this piece and see what you guys can come up with. Have fun, and we'll see you next week for Song of the Week.